Welcome back, Ducks and Kings fans, to Royally Quacked, where we talk about everything related to the Anaheim Ducks and the Los Angeles Kings, the two NHL teams from Southern California. I'm your co-host, Cody Spink, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Gary Spink. In this episode, we'll recap the latest games, analyze the standings, and preview the upcoming matchups, and talk about news around the league. Whether you're a fan of the Ducks, or the Kings, or both, this is the podcast for you. So sit back, relax, and here we go!
knocked it out of the park. All right, guys. So we always start off with a trivia question, and it's my turn to give my dad a trivia question this week. So, Dad, who are the two players to win a World Junior Championship, a Memorial Cup, a Stanley Cup, a World Championship, a World Cup, and an Olympic gold medal?
Okay. Boy, you didn't make it an easy question this week, did you? Okay.
No.
So I want to possibly get a little help with this because somehow I think the question relates to the Ducks or the Kings or both.
Okay.
So do these two play? They play for one of the teams?
They've played for one of the teams. Or
only one. Okay, now I got another answer. See, that was a trick question.
That's fine. You still got to guess. You still got to guess the two players.
Yeah. Well, I got to guess the team first. And Beans, you're the Duck fan. It's about the two players that have played for the Ducks, isn't it?
Well, funny thing is, I didn't even know this until I saw it, and I thought this would be just a good trivia question. So
okay, that wasn't the answer to my question, was it?
I think I already gave you an extra hint that you weren't expecting with your trick question.
So World Junior Championship, Memorial Cup, Stanley Cup, World Championship, World Cup, and Olympic gold medal. Let me think. It could be really tricky, right? It could be tricky. It could be like not one of the great players. But I don't. Let me ask this question.
Okay.
Because I think it's about Duck players because it's your question, but they don't. Do they currently play for the Ducks?
No, they don't. They both do not currently play for the Ducks. Of course, no one on the Ducks now has ever won a championship or a Stanley Cup with the Ducks.
Oh, that's true. So it's got to be
one. One is retired and a Hall of Famer. The other one is still currently playing.
Okay, so 2007 Ducks is what I have to get in my mind. I don't know. Well, Timo wouldn't be in there.
No, because he did not play in Canada's Juniors League.
Right. That's exactly why I was going to say that. So I'm thinking we got Getzlav. We've got Perry. We've got, oh, wow. We got Niedermeyer. We have, what's his name? Pronger. Oh, okay. Trying to think.
In my opinion, they both will or have had their numbers retired as a Duck.
Okay. I know, which I don't don't remember who the Ducks have retired their numbers. So
there's only 3 of them. One's a defenseman, the other one's a forward. That should really help right there.
Was he captain?
He was captain.
Niedermeyer?
Scott Niedermeyer was one of them.
Scott Niedermeyer? Okay. Okay, so that's... I got it between 2. But I watched his farewell thing, and I don't think it's him. Is it Corey Perry?
It is Corey Perry.
Well, forward, he was likely.
Yeah. It was Corey Perry. Corey Perry.
Ducks, 2 people ever, and they both played for the Ducks. What are the odds?
Right?
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah. I thought that was an interesting fact when I saw that. I'm like, ooh, that would be a good trivia question.
Well, I had in my mind how I wanted to cut down the options because, I mean, it's a vast amount of NHL players. Yeah. But I figured if you gave me a question, it should be something about our podcast. So that's why I thought Kings or Ducks. But dang, not one King has done that, huh? Shame on us.
Shame on you.
So, am I going straight to the Kings scores of the week?
Yep.
Okay, guys. It was a great week, right? Let's start off. We played the Bedards. Kopitar, 2 goals and an assist. I think his grandmother's been there all week. I think we need a keeper in America. Honestly. They've been awesome. Adrian Kempe, for the first time ever, had 3 assists in a game. Gavrikov, goal and assist. Fiala, 2 assists. Talbot with 22 saves. I mean, we won 6-2. It looks good, but it wasn't our best game of the week. I mean, I don't think the players were necessarily happy. I think we got outshot in the game. I didn't put that in my notes, but I think we got outshot in the game. And then I'm looking at my notes for the next game, and it's wrong. Well, that's okay. I'll leave it there. I think I predicted. What did I predict in that game? Do you remember that?
In the which one?
Minnesota game.
You predicted a 5-4 win.
Yeah. Well, we played great. I was off on my thought pattern on that one.
You actually predicted the Chicago game correctly.
Oh God, that's right. I was right on the money.
Yeah.
Hey, kudos for the old man.
And you almost got the last one right too.
Well, let me go to this game. So in Minnesota, Kopitar had a goal and assist. He scored his 1,200th point. Deneau with a goal and assist. Doughty with 2 assists. Fiala, goal and assist. More 2 assists. And Arvidsson's back. Goal and an assist. And big save Dave. Shutout. 31 saves. But here's the crazy thing about this game. Oh, that was great. We had 6 10-minute misconducts in this game, including Anze Kopitar.
Did you ever find out why 6 people got misconducts?
You know, I meant to go back and look at the game, but
it's been quite a bit.
Yeah, both teams. Obviously, there was some kind of scrum, and they were unsporting because I do believe Minnesota had 6 10-minute misconducts also. So basically, you out of 17 to 18 skaters, each team only had 11 or 12. So
yeah, here it says Dubois got his misconduct
earlier in the
on.
game.
Yeah.
The rest of them all got it at the same time.
Well, Hartman and Dubois both got theirs at the same time. And then Kopitar, Byfield, Kempe, Gavrikov, Roy for the Kings. And then Shaw, Lucchini, Beckman, Bogosian, and Chisholm all got the misconducts. So it must have been like a full line brawl or something like that.
Put it this way: who won that battle? Was it? Yeah. Did anybody? It wasn't Kaprizov. It wasn't Brock Faber, who's right there with Bedard for Rookie of the Year. And we lost all our best players, our two defensemen, and 4 forwards. Wow, crazy.
2 defensemen, yeah.
And we beat them 6-0. We waxed the Wild. Wow. Okay. On to Tampa Bay. And now here's the funny thing about this game. This went to overtime. Kings were up 3-1. Like 5 minutes left. They got a power play goal. Then they pulled the goalkeeper and got a goal. And then we go to overtime. Let me just go over who got those. Kempe goal and assist, Moore a goal, Anderson a goal. I think it was his first goal in like 50 games. Gavrikov with the game-winning goal in overtime. Like, it was 25 seconds in, guys. We didn't play around with it. We just went and did it. Kopitar had 2 assists, but we did give up 2 power play goals, and it's, I think, only the second time maybe this season that we gave up 2 power play goals in one game. That's how good our power penalty kill has been. I think we're still number 1. Talbot was okay. He gave up 2 goals in the last 5 minutes of the third, but can I blame it all on him? They were a man up each time, whether it was the power play or it was 6-on-5. So I'm not going to blame Talbot on that one. But that was kind of a great game that got to, hey, we're lucky we won it in overtime game. So, and it was our turn to make the opponent tired before they played. So hopefully we help the Ducks out. Anyways, that's the Kings scores of the week, guys.
Well, congrats on Kopi getting his 1,200th point in the league. That's definitely an accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, how many of those guys wish they would have drafted him? He was 11th pick in his draft.
Yeah.
So
for the first game for the Ducks, we played, I believe it was home against Minnesota. Not really much to talk about this game because the Ducks got blinked for the 3rd time in 4 games. It was a 4-0 loss to the Minnesota Wild. And this was our 2nd time getting shut out by the Wild within the last week. And 2 different goalies each time. First time it was Fleury. The last time it was Gustafsson. But Ducks didn't play well at all. Gibson had 28 saves on 32 shots. And then just penalties continue to hurt us. We took 5 penalties in this game, and we're still just turning over the puck when we should not be turning over the puck. I know it really didn't matter at this point in time, but that 4th goal, and he's a rookie and everything, but Olin Zellweger was trying to keep the puck in the offensive zone, and he was like right on the line trying to weave, and he was just doing a little too much and lost the puck, and I believe it was like almost pretty much a breakaway for the Wild. So, but like I said, not much I really want to talk about that game. But the next game, which I was very happy about, the Anaheim Ducks shut out the Chicago Bedards 4-0. And just like I predicted, 0 points for Bedard, just like I predicted. I love it, guys. I love it.
I don't know if you heard the podcast when he predicted it, but it sounded more like a prayer, not a boast. I'm just being honest. You were going, God, I hope he doesn't score. He had 5 points against us last time.
Yeah, that guy.
We just sealed him winning the Rookie of the Year.
The Calder, yeah.
Calder Trophy.
But all I can say is, guys, we finally scored and we won. We ended the 7-game losing streak. It's a miracle. Easter came early. No, I'm just kidding. But Dostal, with his first career shutout and the Ducks' first shutout of the season, I love it.
Quick question. Who's the number one goalkeeper?
That's tough because they're both like playing well. Like both of them have had really good games like this, and they both have had equally bad games. But in my opinion, I'm going with Dostal right now. I think he's my new number one.
Yeah, thus my question. Because I think it's a no doubter to me, just being a hockey fan, that I think he's played better. Yeah. So I can see a possible trade in the off. And that's not going to happen now. But in the off season, I bet you they're going to try to find Gibson's a new home.
And this is my honest opinion too. Like, I know with there's the whole Gibson trade rumors that we've heard for the last 20 years. It seems like now, and then a certain reporter saying he's played his last game at Anaheim and he's still here. But anyways, I think if there was any time to do it, this offseason would probably be the best time, just because Verbeek did say he doesn't want to trade a number one goalie when he doesn't have another number one coming up. But I think Dostal is pretty much proving that he is the number one.
Yeah, well, they still have to have a good backup.
Yeah.
So there's that thought process that they're going to have to go through. So
we never know that whoever they trade, they can get, their backup or something,
That's true.
So, but Alex Killorn scored the first goal, and got an assist from Lindstrom and Vakanainen. Finally Killorn is scoring again. And then Leeson scored the second goal with assists from Ben Myers and Minchikov. And that was Ben Myers' first point as a Duck. So congrats, you are officially a Duck now. And then Killorn with a beautiful wrist shot, by the way, scored his second of the game with assists from Leeson and Zellweger. And I can tell you, I like Leeson. He needs to play more. He should not be healthy scratched anymore. So I like his play. And then Vetrano finally ends his goalless drought and scores his 30th of the year. And it's the first time he has scored 30 goals in a season. So congrats, Vetrano. You deserve it. You've had a great year. And on that last goal, we had an assist. The assists were for Fowler and Terry. And that was also Terry's 30th assist of the year. So 30 for 30. So
awesome.
Yeah. And then on the last game, which literally just happened, the Ducks lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2 in overtime. That was a tough way to lose in overtime.
That was ugly. Pass the puck back. There's nobody there. 2-1, almost none.
It was 2-1. It was pretty much. It was.
Well, they had a guy coming back trying. I don't remember who. I was watching the game. I'm going, oh my God! They just gave the game away.
Yeah. Ross Johnson started off the scoring for the Ducks. His first goal of the year. I believe on the broadcast they said that was his first goal in like almost 2 years. Yeah. I think he's had 4 points all year. 4 or 5 points all year. Yeah.
He should be scratched.
The silence says it all for me. Anthony Duclair continues to, be a duck killer because he scored another goal. I swear, I think every time Anthony Duclair plays against the Ducks, he scores. It's like an almost automatic.
Yeah, they said he had an 8-game scoring streak.
Yeah,
on a game.
It's probably like his 50th straight game with a point against the Ducks, pretty much. Since even with his time with the Coyotes, he was a duck killer. And that tells you how far back that goes.
Here lies Anthony Duclair, duck killer.
And then the Lightning took the lead in the second with Luke Glendening scoring. And then Pavel Mintyukov. What a beautiful goal that was, coming up as like I think he was like the third man in. Beautiful pass from Max Jones right to him. Like I said, beautiful.
That was
shot.
A pretty goal. That was a very pretty goal.
I believe that on the broadcast they said that Pavel Mintyukov is the second rookie defenseman ever to have, I think, a minimum of 4 shots on goal in a game and 3 block shots.
Excuse me.
So he said, I think he was the second player to ever do that. The first was Bowen Byram. And I forgot to mention Silverberg and Myers had the assist on the Ross Johnston goal. And Max Jones and Brett Leeson had the assist on Pavel Mintyukov's goal. And, we went to overtime. And honestly, before that, it was a great game played by the Ducks.
They were very competitive. It was a very competitive game.
We outshot.
It wasn't one-sided at all.
No, and honestly, I was expecting a complete one-sided game because that's just been how the Ducks have played all year, to be honest. But no, I felt like it was pretty equal. They shut down. Kucherov didn't even have a point in this game. Of course, I thought it was funny how on the broadcast they kept saying like, "Oh, I guess this what happens when you don't have Hedman or Braden Point." I'm like, "Yeah, we don't have Zegras or Gudis." I'm not saying they're the same caliber of them, but I'm saying we're still missing a lot of our top players too. Because I would say Zegras is one of our top forwards, and Gudis has been our best defenseman all year.
True.
And then.
But he's not Victor Hedman, you have to admit.
No, I'm not saying he is.
And Zegras isn't Braden Point either. No. Not yet.
No. Like I said, those are the Lightning were missing better players, but I'm just saying to the team, the Ducks were also still missing a top forward and a top defenseman, just as the Lightning were. Yeah. So.
True. I'll accept that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Ducks fall to the Lightning in overtime with a beautiful assist from Mason McTavish or I believe it was Mason McTavish to Brandon Hagel, and Hagel to Cirelli, and Cirelli scored the overtime winner. That was a really nothing Dostal can do, and Dostal played great.
Nothing he could do.
No, yeah,
that was not his fault.
Not his fault at all, but. Like I said, great game played by the Ducks. We outshot them. And I think for the second game in a row, I want to say, let me recheck them. Did we give up a power play goal in the other one? It doesn't say anything about a power play. Oh, okay. Never mind. They did score a power play in the Wild game. So that was back-to-back games where the Ducks don't give up a power play goal. So I'm happy about that. Good job. That means our penalty kill's playing better. And especially with the Lightning having the number 1 power play in the league.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I mean, when you got Stamkos, Hedman, Kucherov, Point. I know I'm missing someone, but like I said, they still got probably one of the top players for power plays. So
yeah, they're number 1.
Yeah, but I would say overall, a better week from the Ducks standpoint this week than the week before. We had a win to talk about, and we had at least a good game to talk about. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in your Tampa Bay Lightning prediction, you predicted a 4-3 overtime or shutout loss. So you almost had it.
Did I?
Yeah. Just opposite. And you guys winning.
Yeah, well, you know what? The way the Kings have played, I try to look at it and think what might happen. And not that what I want to happen, but It seems like the Kings are starting. I mean, Arvidsson coming back has really pumped them up. They're playing so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the last 2 goals, stupid penalty that got the 1 goal, and then they went, and your mom needs to listen to this one about pulling the goalie. When we used to play, when we were down by a goal, we'd pull the goalie and they'd score on us, and she goes, "It never works." And then she wouldn't be there, and we'd do it, and we'd score, and then win in overtime. And I go back and tell her.
So the point is, whenever you play, just don't bring. Whenever we pull the goalie, just tell mom to leave. Is that what you're telling me? I love you, Mom, but
she's a curse in overtime. Love you, honey. Sorry.
She wasn't a curse for me in overtime games, at least me playing.
Yeah. If you call watching the game with her hands in front of her face in the shootout in soccer, where you were 50% saves, pretty much in your career, I think on shootouts.
That,
which is incredible, you guys. If you don't know nothing about soccer, I mean, it's a big goal. It's 23 feet wide and 7 feet high, and they can only score on them half the time. Shoot, with all that space, he had some kind of knack to know where they were going to shoot most of the time.
Yeah. So I just saw this, and I thought I'd bring it up now as we're talking about soccer. I saw something on Instagram saying how to fix soccer. Number 1, the field is huge. Shrink it. Number 2, too many players on the field. Limit to 3 forwards, 2 defenders, and a goalie. Number 3, players should get to come in and out whenever they want. Don't stop the game. Number 4, shrink the goal. Number 5, ice everywhere. I thought that was funny.
Well, you want to know what's funny? When I was little, there was really no AYSO where we played. I'm not sure how long that's been around, but we'd go to the elementary school and play soccer. And we had one of the kids on our team, his dad was from England, so he came over and was trying to taught us how to kick, all that kind of stuff. Well, we had an advantage because soccer wasn't big in America. But he kept telling me, "You're offsides." I go, "There's no offsides in the game we play," because we had 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, and a goalkeeper, and you could stand all the way in the box and just cherry pick, and then boom and score a goal, And we won a couple Orange County championships. In fact, one time we were 5th graders. We won the 6th grade league, and the 7th and 8th grade team didn't show up, so we went and played the other school. And you ought to heard them. They were laughing at us because we were smaller than them, making fun of us, and we beat them 11-0. I mean, we were blessed. We had some really good. I mean, I was in the middle of the pack of those players. And we had some really good soccer players back in those days, but that was fun. But we'll move on from that. That wasn't part of the plan, guys. That just came out because you basically called without the ice.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
So,
all right, well, let's go on to game predictions.
Okay, I'm going to start with the Kings predictions, and guys, the winning streak continues. My prediction on Monday, we're playing in Vancouver. We're playing the Canucks. they kind of waxed us the last time we played them, but we didn't have Arvidsson, and we're playing well. It's going to be a great game. So, listen, iHeartRadio, NHL app, watch it on Bally Sports. Watch the game, guys. It's going to be a good game. But I'm going to even go out and say Byfield scores the shootout goal to win it. You heard it here first on Royally Quacked. All right. Second game, Thursday. So we got a few days off before we play in Edmonton. The dreaded Oilers. We're hot. I think they're not. I think they lost today. But it's going to be another good game. It's I predict a 4-3 win in regulation against Edmonton. I mean, and you have to realize, I think we basically lost to every one of these teams last time we played them. And then on Saturday, we're in Calgary. And I thought they waxed us the last time we played them. But we're gonna come in and rough it out, and we're gonna come out with a 5-3 victory in Calgary in regulation. Those are my predictions. I stand by them. I want to have a perfect record next week. Guys, let's think positive all week. Go Kings, go. On to Cody with Duck predictions.
The Oilers lost to the Senators today. So,
yeah, way to go, Senators!
And the Flames lost to the Sabres. So, all right, but we'll move on to Ducks predictions. I added a little spice to one to mine. So we played back-to-back games this week in Seattle. Well, not back-to-back days, but back-to-back games. So on Tuesday, the Ducks play in Seattle, and I'm predicting a 5-3 win. And the fifth goal is going to be an empty net goal.
Bye. Come on. Put you on the spot. I did it.
Trevor Zegras, he's coming back. He's going to score an empty netter.
Ooh, would it be cool if it was a Michigan? It won't be
a Michigan empty netter.
Do it on an empty netter. That would be a Trevor Zegras thing. I think he could do it. He's so fast with that.
Yeah.
Make it look good and have everybody be talking about it.
If Zegras doesn't play, Leeson's going to get the empty netter. Brett Leeson. If Zegras doesn't play, I like Leeson.
You've been talking big about him, and I got to tell you, when I'm listening or I'm watching, and I try to do it when I can, I have to agree. He's played well. So.
Oh yeah. And then the second game on Thursday in Seattle, I'm gonna predict a 3-2 overtime loss. So we're gonna continue the win streak, but then it'll end in Seattle as well. And then we move on to Saturday, where we play Edmonton. In Edmonton, and I'm gonna predict a 6-3 loss. I think the Oilers are just too good to, they have too many weapons, and they're going to want to get hot at the right time, and now is probably going to be the time they want to get hot. And then on Sunday, we go to Vancouver and play the Canucks, and I'm predicting a 5-2 loss on that one. So, we'll start the road trip with a win, and we'll end the week with 3 losses, but I gotta be truthful about it. I'd rather see more W's up there, but it's not our time yet.
I'd like to see wins on those last 2 games. Help the Kings out.
Well, the last one really wouldn't help you guys out as much, but the Edmonton one would help you guys. But all right, and we will be back right after this message.
Hey, Ducks and Kings fans. I'm Cody's wife, Christina.
And I'm Becca, and we are Buried in Romance Book Club.
we wanted to reach out to our listeners to let you know that we have collaborated with author Claire Contreras on a special edition cover of her book, Because You're Mine, a mafia romance novel.
Our special edition is now available to purchase until March 31st. You can find us on our Instagram and Facebook at Buried in Romance.
Welcome back to Royally Quacked. We've got playoff standing news for you. And here's Mr. Duck, Mr. Quacky, Cody.
I think I would have more energy if the Ducks would have won. So nothing's really changed in the Atlantic, guys. Florida's in first place with 97 points, and they've played 71 games. Boston's in second, also with 97 points, but they've played 72 games. So Florida has a game in hand on Boston. In third place, you got the Toronto Maple Leafs with 89 points with 70 games played. And then for the Metropolitan, in first place, you still got the New York Rangers, who actually now lead the East in points with
That's
98.
a change.
I know, that was a change. I just now realized that.
They are they have so much talent on that Ranger team. I can't see why they don't go to the Stanley Cup. They're that good. I don't think any of the other teams have quite the scoring talent that the Rangers do.
Yeah. And then in second, you got the Carolina Hurricanes also with 97 points. The East is looking better now. The East teams are getting hotter right now. And then in third place in the Metro, you got the Philadelphia Flyers, who is still a shock to everyone that they're still there. They're actually there for now, because in the wild card, you got the Tampa Bay Lightning holding the number one wild card spot with 85 points in 71 games. And as of right now, the Washington Capitals have 79 points with 70 games played in the second wild card slot.
They're a minus 27.
That's been like the running joke on the like 32 odds and Jeff Merrick and other, like, they're like, how does a team make it into the playoffs and they have a minus 27 goal differential?
Well, I mean, Detroit's what?
Plus 6.
1 point. Yeah, they're 1 point less and played one more game, and they're at least a plus 6. And then the next team is the Islanders. They're a minus 27.
Yeah.
Well, of course, look at the East. I guess you can understand why people might be down. You know, you play the Rangers, they beat you 11-2. You're going to be a minus 9 for that game. So it kind of makes sense.
It looks like it's going to be between, in the last two, it's either going to be Washington or Detroit. It's funny because Washington sold during the trade deadline, so.
And they got better.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's crazy. But I think Ovechkin's starting to heat up now, because he was really cold to start the year. I think he's starting to heat up now. So we'll see. Maybe next week it could be different. But it looks like the Islanders aren't. I mean, they're 3 games behind, but they have the same amount of games played as Detroit. So, I mean, there's still, 10 to 12 games left for each team almost.
Yeah. Anybody gets hot, it could still be. Some teams could come back and surprise.
Yeah. So as of, I think right now, I believe the Washington Capitals would play the Rangers, and then the Lightning would play Florida. And then you got Boston and Toronto, and then Carolina and Philadelphia.
Wow. Some good series there.
How would you feel to win the Atlantic Division and still have to play the Lightning in the first round?
I'd hate it.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the West Coast.
So we'll start on the Central. This has changed just a little bit. There's There's been a little bit more separation. At least one team has kind of fallen down a bit. I think Winnipeg was in first last week,
I think so.
And now we got Colorado. They've got 97, and Dallas has 97, but Colorado has a game in hand. The Winnipeg is 93 points, and they have a game on Dallas, but they're even with Colorado. So that can be anybody's first place, second place, third place yet. It's whoever gets hot, I guess.
Yeah.
And we go to the Pacific, and it's still Vancouver. They're 10 points up on Edmonton.
I think that's a lock right now.
I would guess that, yes. Unless they pull a Kings thing like 17 games. They did for 17 games. You just never know. Because they look like they were going to be the best team in the Pacific. And all of a sudden, 17 games, what do they win, 3?
True.
So, anyways, but they're up. They have 98 points. Edmonton is 10 points down, but still 2 games in hand. So those are 2 victories. They're only 6 points down even with 12 to go. So they just have to win 3 more games than Vancouver does in the final games to at least come even with them. I do think that's hard still.
Yeah.
And then the Kings are in third place with 85 points. And Vegas is 2 points down. They're equal in games. So they're in fourth place. Nashville is the fourth place team in the Central, and they're the number 1 wild card team right now, with Vegas being the second wild card team. But St. Louis, well, they're 4 points down, and still Vegas has got a game in hand on them. That's going to be a tough thing for St. Louis to come back. And Minnesota, I'm going to bet, unless Vegas totally falls apart, that we're probably looking right at what the West is going to look like.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a possibility the Kings could overtake Edmonton if like they lose to the Kings this week, say, like I predicted.
True.
And they win or lose against the Ducks like Cody didn't predict. Boo, Cody.
Hey, my job is to predict the games right.
I know, and I agree with you on that. I just had to pick on you a little bit.
No, that's fine.
So we would have Vegas and Vancouver. We would have Nashville against Colorado. You'd have Dallas against Winnipeg, and Edmonton and LA for the third time in a row. Third time's a charm, Kings fans. If this happens, we're going to take them.
Now,
although I got to be honest with you, this is the best Edmonton team. It's better than the other 2 teams were, I think.
Now, here's the thing. Would you want to stay in that third spot in the Pacific and play Edmonton again? Or would you want to trade with Vegas and have to play Vancouver? Or maybe Colorado?
With the way we played against Edmonton, well, we should have beat them last. Was it last? No, the year before. We should have beat them. We were up 3 games too.
Yeah.
Playing in LA, and we had a 3-1 lead in the first period, and we lose, and then we lose again. I know we lost in 6 last year. I don't know. Cody, I see your point.
Yeah.
But, fate's going to be what fate is, and I'm going to be a fan, whether they win the Stanley Cup again or they lose in the playoffs, and we're going to come back next year and try it again. So
here's the funny thing. How would you feel being the number 1 team in the West and you have to play you get to play Vegas in the first round?
That's what well, it is a depleted Vegas team.
Yeah, but they did make a lot of, and Mark Stone's going to be back for the game 1 of the playoffs.
If that happens again, the rule for the cap, right, for playoffs?
There is no cap.
Exactly. That'll change if this keeps happening.
apparently,
Got it.
we'll get into more of that later, but
Okay. Well, we'll touch on that later then.
yeah.
But that's the West for this week, folks. So, hey guys, we would love. We're going to repeat this a few times. We'd love to get some questions from you guys. We do have one today, and it's for Cody, but we're going to do that a little later. Anyways, I guess we're going to go on to Duck News.
Yeah, Ducks news. So, not much of news, but congrats to Thomas Sukanik. He's been the bright spot for the San Diego Gulls this year. I thought he was already on an ELC, but apparently he was just on a 1-year tryout kind of thing, because he started in the ECHL. And the Ducks signed him to a 3-year entry-level contract, and he has deserved it. He's been the bright spot for the Gulls this year. So congrats to Thomas Sukanik. And honestly, I remember watching him in the rookie shootout? Was it the rookie shootout or face-off in the beginning of the year? And then I think he played 1 or 2 games in the preseason, and he looked good. And I noticed it. So I'm glad he got a contract. And then a Hockey News, I think it's a website, I believe, they ranked the Ducks number 1 overall for the top ranked players that are 21 and under.
I could see that. They got a lot of talent.
Yeah, let me see if I can find.
I mean, because that's like Zellweger's still there, right?
Yeah, Zellweger, Pavel Minchikov, Mason McTavish, and Cutter Gauthier, Leo Carlson, Tristan Luneau.
How old's Minty?
Minty, I think, is 20, 19 or 20.
So he's there too.
Yeah,
top ranked player, 21 under Minty.
I said Olin, Pavel, Mason, Cutter, and Leo. And you also got Tristan Luneau. So, and then we got that. And then, so apparently Zegras is back skating with the team. From what I heard, I think he warmed up tonight with the Ducks, but he still didn't play. So hopefully soon we'll see Zegras playing soon. That's why I also made that little, prediction that Zegras would score an empty netter this week, because I'm hoping he would play. So, and then Gudis is skating again too. I know last time I heard he was in a no contact jersey, so hopefully sometime in the next week he should be back. And I think this will be the, I'm just so glad after, was it Thursday's game against the Coyotes, that Carlson is back, because he left the game and it looked like he was going to be out for the rest of the year, but he played today and he looked good. So thank God for that, because I don't know if you saw that knee-to-knee hit that Carlson took the other night. It was...
I was listening. It didn't sound good. I did not see it.
It was nasty. After I saw the video, my knee hurt. So thank God Carlson's okay. Zegras should be back soon, and then Gudis should be back hopefully sometime this week soon. So I think this will be the first time we'll have all our top players playing together. Finally.
Yay.
I know. So that is it for the Ducks news this week. On to Kings news.
Well, the biggest Kings news is Victor Arvidsson is back. And dang, they look like a different team to me. They do. I know he's going to be a unrestricted free agent next year, but boy, has he proven so far, just in the little games he's played, that we need somebody like him. So I have no idea how we're going to do all this. But with him back, are the Kings contenders again? I'm starting to believe. Do you guys believe? Another thing, I don't know if anybody. We're recording it Sunday night, and the Rain were on Channel 9 today at 3:00, and I watched the game, and they showed Saturday's game winner by Akil Thomas. Oh my gosh, what a nice! I mean, he basically does a full spin around and backhands from the left side. He's right-handed, right up into the corner of the net. It was beautiful. I mean, they showed it multiple times. If you just look up Akil Thomas overtime winner, you can see it. It's on the internet anywhere, people. It's a beautiful goal, And this poor guy, I mean, you talk about injury prone. He's been, a promising prospect for the Kings for years now, and he's, I don't know, 3 or 4 shoulder surgeries. And he got hurt again. It looked like it was going to be another nasty one, but he was only out a couple games, came back, and he gets a game winner. He scored today, too.
That's good.
So, anyways, not a ton of Kings news other than, we're on a 3-game winning streak from at least this week and going to make it 3 more games this next week. I think we go on to league news, Cody.
All right. First bit of league news. The Capitals forward Tom Wilson gets suspended for 6 games for high sticking. And honestly, I hate this guy. I'm going to just be straight. This guy I think he deserved more games because I sent you the video. That was intentional. Yeah, it was intentional.
Yeah.
So that it was completely uncalled for, and I think it should have been more, but I think the reason they didn't go for more is because he probably would have appealed and it probably would have got reduced or and everything like that. So next bit of news, Mike Madonna gets his statue unveiled outside of the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Well-deserved statue. He deserves it.
Oh my gosh. Great player.
Great player. He annoyed me.
He was in the Mighty Ducks movie. Cody loves him.
Yes, he was in the second movie, D2. I believe it was D2, wasn't it?
No, it was the first movie. They went to a Minnesota North Stars game.
Oh, that's right.
It was when he was a Minnesota boy.
That's right. Oof. I thought it was the second one.
No.
Oh yeah.
The second one is when they went to the they played for the USA.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. Oh, because I think by the time
that had Paul Correa in it.
No, Paul Correa was in the third movie.
Was he in the third movie?
He was in the third movie.
I thought he was at the end commentating.
No.
When they all came out in the Ducks jerseys in the third period against Iceland.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I trust you. You don't even know what movie Madonna was in.
Well, I mean, I think when that movie came out, I was 2 years old or not even.
Yeah, but you watched it 100 times.
Yeah, that's true.
At least.
And then, but like I said, great player, well deserved. He was fun to watch when he didn't play against your team.
But is he one of the leading scorers for a USA player in NHL?
That is, you want to look that up while I go over the rule changes?
Sure.
All right. Well, this past week, the general managers had the yearly meeting and everything where they go over some possible rule changes. The first rule I'm going to talk about is the one that is already going to start and is already official, is players are no longer able to have their legs or sit on top of the bench area right there to get into the games, because apparently a referee got cut because he was trying to get out of the way of a play, and he ended up getting cut from a skate that was up there. So it's just a safety concern for the referees, and so now teams get a warning, and after that it's a bench minor. So
okay, I have the answer.
What is it?
Well, I'm going to ask you a trivia question right now.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's go for it.
Can you give me the 5 top USA-born NHL point leaders? Modano is one in the top 5.
Okay.
He's in that top 5. Could you guess another player that might be there?
Are any of them currently playing?
One.
Patrick Kane?
No, he's number 3 at 1,276 points.
Okay, and Madonna's obviously the other one. Is one of the other ones.
Yeah.
Let's see, U.S. born players. It's so hard to remember like which players are like American and Canadian.
The number, I'm going to tell you, Madonna's number 2 at 1,374 points.
Okay.
But the number 1 player was USA born, but his dad was Canadian.
Yeah, that does not help.
And a Hall of Famer.
The dad was a Hall of Famer, or he's a Hall of Famer?
He's a Hall of Famer, too. I do believe he's been inducted in the Hall of Fame already. He retired quite a while ago. I'm assuming he's in the Hall of Fame.
Quite a while ago. Did he win a Stanley Cup?
I'm trying to... Not sure.
Okay. I'm lost.
Played for St. Louis.
Played for St.
Big goal scorer. He had more goals than assists.
Hull?
Brett Hull, number 1, USA point scorer. See, Mike Modano, number 2.
I couldn't tell you if Hull was American
3.
or Canadian.
You're not going to get the other 2, but you'll know the names if I tell you.
Okay.
Number 4, Phil Housley.
Okay.
Number 5, Jeremy Roenick.
Okay, I remember Roenick. Okay.
6 is Keith Kachuk, Brady and Matthews' dad.
Yeah.
Pavelski's number 8, currently playing.
All right, well, let's go back to the rule changes. So the next ones I'm going to talk about, they're not official yet. They still have to go through a competition committee and board of governors for approval. So now they're going to be one of them is adding goalie, and this is from Elliot Friedman's Twitter page, by the way, that I got this information from. They're going to add the goalie to the list of players who can get a penalty for intentionally dislodging the net, which I think should be, and I think Gibson got called for that one time a couple years ago. And then on a face-off after icing, right now a defensive center gets a warning for a violation, but the off center gets tossed. And I guess they want to make it where the offensive center also gets a warning as well to make it more even.
I think that they should do that.
Yeah, I think because
both of those I like.
Yeah. If a goalie is pulled by concussion, spotter, or injury, a replacement gets a warm-up. So, like, if Gibson gets hurt and everything like that, and Dostal comes in, like, they give him, like, a minute warm-up. Like, a couple players shoot some pucks on him, let him feel it and everything like that. So, yeah. And then the next one is if a goalie loses his mask and play is blown dead, the other team gets an offensive zone draw with choice of which side they want the face-off on, no matter where the puck on the ice is. So if a goalie loses his mask, plays dead, and whoever's on offense, they get to pick which side they want to do the face-off on.
Okay.
Then the next one, these are going to be interesting. New coaches challenges. If a penalty is called for delay of game for puck over glass, they can ask for a video review to prove that it did hit something, like a deflection or hit the glass or anything like that. This is only for when a penalty is called. It cannot be used to call a penalty on another team. But here's the thing. If you ask for a video review and it is shown that your player did dislodge the puck out of play, it's now a 5-on-3 penalty.
So they get a double. They get a penalty for both.
They get a penalty for both. So you get a delay of
game. You're shooting for the moon on that one.
Yes.
I'm not sure I like that one.
Yeah. Then the next one is now they can challenge for high sticking. So it doesn't have to be a double minor now. It could be a minor penalty. They can challenge it to see if it was a teammate stick or their own stick. But that's also going to be the same thing as if the team challenges, is it challenge the play and they lose, it's a 5-on-3. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next one.
So basically they're going to, hey, let's just send you to Vegas and see if you can win some money.
Yeah.
You're going to gamble otherwise.
And the last one is if a player refuses to play the puck on a high stick or hand pass from the non-offending team will get a face-off, one zone better than where the play occurs. So if like there's a high stick play, not a high sticking penalty, just like the play with a high stick.
You hit the puck with the stick up too high, above the shoulders.
So if it happens in the D zone, it moves up to the neutral zone for the and everything. So that's the last one for that.
So it's only if they don't play it.
Yes, if they don't play it. So
if they play it, it's just going to be right where it's at, right?
I'm just telling you what it shows on Elliot Friedman's Twitter. But like I said, none of those last ones are in there. They still got to get approved. And then
that's not clear.
Yeah, we'll probably learn more about it if it is approved or not. So, and then the last bit of league news is the NHL has signed on to do a behind the scenes series with Amazon. And I guess it's reportedly that it will star about 10 to 12 players. Now, here's the thing, guys. And I want you guys to comment or, DM me or the Instagram. What's the 10 players you would want to see on this show? Tell us. Who would you want to see?
Who would I want to see?
Yeah. On a behind the scenes thing. Like, I don't know if you watched that Netflix show, Quarterback, with Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins. Oh, that was great. You got to watch it. It's great. It honestly, I'm a fan of Kirk Cousins now because of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think everybody would want to know more about Connor McDavid for sure.
Yeah, like, I don't think he would sign on for that because he's a pretty private guy.
Yeah, but that's why.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Connor Bedard, people want to know more about him. I mean, he's had a good season. He's a special player. I'm trying to think.
How about this? Give me
Ovechkin.
Ovechkin
would be fun.
Give me 5 that are not on your team or our teams, and then give me 2 that are on each of our teams.
Okay, so Ovechkin would be 3. Let me think. Hellenbuck.
That's a good one.
Oh, he's wrote a kid's book.
Yeah.
I heard that on 32 Thoughts. I didn't know that. I did not know. I enjoy watching him play hockey.
Yeah.
I liked him as a human being after 32 Thoughts. You guys that don't watch 32, listen to 32 Thoughts. Shout out to 32 Thoughts, Elliot and Jeff.
And Dom.
Don't forget Dom. Yeah, Dom. They do a great job, and they're fun. And It's an awesome podcast. So I have one more non-player for the Ducks or Kings, I would say. Who? Kel McCarr.
Ooh, good one.
What I don't hear, you see how good he is, but you don't hear much about him. So I'd just be curious to know more about him.
Let me do my 5, and then we'll both do our 2 Ducks, 2 Kings.
Okay.
So my 5, I'm going to go with Matthew Tkachuk.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with... trying to think who else would be... Oh, Panarin with the Rangers. I think he'd be fun.
Yeah. Great player.
Yeah. Let's see. Patrick Kane.
Good choice.
All right, let me do a couple West Coast guys. Let's see, West Coast. Jason Robertson.
Dallas Stars.
And let's go with, I'll do one on the Pacific. Trying to think like which player would be good from the Pacific. Let's go Jack Eichel.
Jack Eichel. Okay.
And then
2 Ducks.
Yeah, you do 2 Ducks, and I'll do 2 Ducks, 2 Kings, and I'll do 2 Ducks, 2 Kings.
Go Trevor Zegras.
Yeah, okay. You took mine, but all right. I'll pick. I have someone else in mind, anyways.
It'd have been Kessler. If he's still playing for him. He was funny as hell.
He was very funny.
Hated him on the ice, but he was so funny. McTavish.
Oh, you took my other one. Damn it.
Sorry.
Oh. All right, now
So I'll let you do your 2 Kings,
Okay.
and then I'll do my 2 Kings, and you can take one from me. Fair enough?
All right. Let's see. I'm going to go with... I hate to do like the obvious ones, but Doughty and Kobe.
Okay.
I feel like
I would have picked Doughty because Kachuk's there. Because they hate each other.
Yeah.
So Kopi and Doughty. Okay.
I feel like I would love to see how Kopitar goes with his day and everything. Like I think that would be a good one. And I know Doughty's a character. So
yeah, he's definitely a character. That's for sure. I would probably say, let me think. I'm gonna have to go Byfield.
That was my other one.
Because I think we got it's been a little bit slower moving than most people would like, but I think he got a superstar in the making with him, and I'd like to hear what he has to say. And Mikey Anderson.
Ooh, okay. All right.
He can't drive. He can't drive from what I hear. Dubois. I think it was it Dubois said something about don't ride with Mikey Anderson.
So my 2 Ducks. Do I want to do 2 goalies, or do I want to do? I want to pick one of the goalies for sure.
Okay, we can each pick a goalie, either team. In addition,
okay.
If you want to pick 2, you can. I mean,
all right. Well, all right. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do Dostal and Gibson. I would love to see how they work. And then if there was the player, Vetrano.
Okay. Well, I could see that.
Yeah, he's a character.
Talbot was on All the King's Men.
Okay.
I do believe just recently. He was interesting. A lot more interesting than I thought he would be. I mean, he played in like Alabama or something like that, some college. Did you know that?
No. That's crazy.
I mean, he was saying, yeah. I mean, and then I think he went later, a little bit later to college. Then he didn't go at 18.
Well, it worked in his favor, I could tell you that.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a very interesting guy.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So you said you had another question for me?
Oh yeah. Tim from Menifee, he goes so he's going to challenge you on how great of a Duck fan you are.
All right.
So on the broadcasts, they have points for the Stars.
Okay.
Who's the leading point person for the Stars? Oh, you're not as good a Duck fan.
Did it change?
Did you not watch the game today?
I did, but
I did.
I didn't see the 3 stars.
I'm not, but I'm saying he's leading the team.
Dostal.
Dostal.
Yeah.
Dostal.
Last time I saw, I didn't see the one today. Last time I saw, I think it was for Toronto that was in the lead.
You got him, Tim. Congratulations. We need more good questions like this. See if you can bust Cody or bust me on a trivia question. We'd love to get some more of them from you guys. They're trickling in, but we'd like them to be flowing in, so we gotta get some really good ones and some off the wall stuff. People off the wall. Well, it makes it more fun for us. I like to be challenged.
Here's an off the wall one that we got. Christina from Temecula wants to know, if you had to pick a theme song for your life, what would your theme song be?
I
have 2. You want to hear mine?
So a theme song, is it like a theme song or just a song?
Song or theme song, whichever one you want.
How about Take It Easy?
Take It Easy?
Yeah. By the Eagles?
Christina says yours is old time rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I said mine is Happy by I can't remember the guy's name. It was like, because I'm happy. I feel like
I know the song.
Yeah, that one.
I can't think of who it. Can't think of who.
I can't think of the guy's name either. That's why we're a hockey podcast, not a music podcast. And then she says mine is Back in Black by AC/DC.
Ah, interesting.
So,
well, old time rock and roll was my ringtone for the longest time. So,
and I forgot. Here's also one bit of news I forgot to bring up. Wayne Simmons retired.
Oh, I loved Wayne Simmons.
I remember when he was a King.
Oh God, I was, but I think they traded him for was it either Mike Richards or was it? Yeah, Mike Richards, I think.
I think it was Mike Richards.
Which we won a Stanley Cup, and then he's cost us money ever since. Pharrell Williams.
Thank you. All right, and then the next, we have one more question. If you had to pick a hockey team to be your new favorite team that's not Ducks or Kings, what would your pick be?
Right now?
Right now.
current teams.
Yeah. You want to do one East Coast and one West Coast to make it a little easier?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I would say, for the Western Division, the Avalanche. They're fun to watch. When they have everybody, they're incredible. I mean, so they'd be. I would have fun watching them.
Yeah.
East Coast, New York Rangers.
For me, that was going to be my East Coast one. I'll pick someone to be different. I'm going to go with the Hurricanes for East Coast.
Good choice.
Yeah. And then West Coast, just because I went to one of their games last year and I had a blast, was the Seattle Kraken. Great arena.
I gotta admit, I love their uniforms too.
God. Guys, if you ever go to Seattle, go to a Kraken game. It was so much fun. The arena's beautiful. We saw, me and my wife, we when we were there, actually almost like literally a year ago, we saw the Ducks play in Seattle, and the Ducks lost, but they didn't have Zegras, Terry, or somebody else was out. But I mean, we had a great time and everything. Just the atmosphere was fantastic. Like they had like the pregame that they do, like it's like an old fisherman telling you a story about seeing a Kraken. It was just great. I would love to go back again. We had such a great time.
So next time we want to go with you.
Yeah.
For that, because I be honest with you, fans, I would love to go to every arena before I die.
Yes.
I'm sure probably not going to make every one of them, but
Road
I
trip.
would sure love to go watch hockey games.
If we had enough money, we would do a father-son road trip and hit all 32 arenas in one season.
Yeah, it might be 34 in a couple of years.
I guess we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that next week.
We'll talk about that at the next podcast. But anyways, Cody did bring his old man a Kraken King hockey puck from Seattle, and that's up on my right by my TV. And not to mention that when my son-in-law and my daughter came out, my son-in-law is a Kings fan like I am. He's the only other family member that actually truly loves me, because he's a Kings fan, and he actually got a game puck. I mean, not paid for it. It came and he got it. And it was my birthday like 4 days later, and they gave me the puck.
That's
and I
cool.
go, yeah, it was very cool. I was so happy.
Yeah, anytime I go to a game, I always like to get like a warm-up puck. So that's like one of the things I like to do. And unfortunately, I guess Seattle was different. I guess they sell theirs before the game even starts. And it was already sold out before I was even able to do it. So I had to get another puck. So it wasn't the exact game I went to, but I was just happy to be there. And it was, like I said, it was great. I've been to now, technically 3 hockey arenas so far. But I already have 2 that I want to go to next. The Shark Tank in San Jose and the Vegas. Those are, I think, the next 2 I want to do.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a road trip on those. We'll have to do that. We'll do it. Take vacation and go do it. That would be a fun vacation. I would love it.
We would have to try to do it where the Ducks and Kings both play Vegas in that same week.
Yeah, that would be perfect. But if not, one or the other would be okay with me.
Even if they don't
just
play
love
our
watching
teams. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go and watch them anyways.
So
I'd be cheering for the other team.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's all for this episode of Royally Quacked, guys. Thank you for listening and supporting us. We do have some, different listeners this week. I've noticed we got someone from Seattle, and we had someone from Canada, Germany, someone from North Carolina. So, guys, please tell your family or friends about our show. And so, if you enjoy this, also, please leave us a rating and a review on your favorite podcast platform. We're on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. You guys can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook now. We are at Royally Quacked, and you can follow us there to get the latest updates and interact with us.
We'd love to hear your feedback, questions. Please, questions, people, and suggestions. Let us know if you are Team Royal or Team Quack, or you're royally quacked like we are. Mm-hmm. Until next time, this is Cody and Gary signing off.
Go Ducks!
And go Kings go!